What is up, all you beautiful funnel hackers? I just got my Dunkin', so I'm a happy blade right now, all right? But really, real talk right now. Let's break something down because actually yesterday my boy called me regarding some paid ads. And we gave him some pretty good advice, actually some fantastic secrets that he's going to be implementing into his specifically Twitter ads that's going to really help him really get ahead. So I want to talk to you about that conversation I had with him yesterday because realistically, these same strategies can be used regardless whatever platform you're using, regardless you're using Twitter, regardless you're using Facebook, regardless you're using Instagram, regardless you're using YouTube. It all comes down to the same exact SHIT, right? And the strategies are relatively straightforward. It shouldn't be something overcomplicated. And yeah, I know I never close the drawers, the cupboards. I know, that's just me. But let's talk about it for a second. This is so important, so darn important. I mean, excuse me. The way I've learned this is I've spent a lot of money just figuring this out. And take my word for it. I mean, you probably started seeing something on my website, some of my ad accounts. We spent a whole lot of money. 6 figures at the minimum. Just running ads on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube, you know? Honestly, Facebook is kind of like my favorite. It's kind of like my go-to. It's my bread and butter. But realistically, the same strategy works through all platforms. Now it comes down to two really, really big things. The first thing is making sure that you got that offer all set up. And the second thing is making sure you kind of structure your ads so you set yourself up to have the greatest amount of success. It all comes down to like the fundamentals. So I probably have talked in a bunch of other videos where it comes to fundamentals, whereas you gotta get your social media foundations done, blah, blah, blah. You gotta do that stuff. And then you gotta do everything else. Then you can do everything else. Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. You do need to get your social media foundations because realistically, ads are going to convert a lot better when you have social proof. And I'm talking about social proof. When I'm talking about social proof, I'm talking about, you got to have a bunch of testimonials on your page. You got to have a bunch of pictures. You got to show that your stuff is actually active. Show your social media accounts are active, that you're talking, you're chatting on there, you're getting comments, you're getting engagement. Because if people see a social media account with like no traction, no talking, no nothing, no engagement, they're like, is this a real business? Are they actually, they're gonna get worried. It's not gonna display a lot of trust. Whereas if you have this social media page, for example, let's talk about a Facebook page. You have this Facebook page with a bunch of call to actions, a bunch of posts, a bunch of people commenting and liking it. You got a bunch of follows on the Facebook page as well too. You know, a bunch of likes on the Facebook page as well too. Gosh darn it, are people going to like that a whole lot better than like something without it, you know? And it comes down to the main thing of just social proof. You know, realistically, people buy off of emotions, which is why I was actually talking to one of my buddies, one of my mentors, and we're speaking about how tonality when you're selling somebody is so darn important, but that's for another video. This is ads today. Today, we're talking about ads, all right? So, to continue, obviously, you got to get those social media foundations. And guys, if you haven't gotten those social media foundations done, I made this excellent little blueprint that's completely for free. It's called the Social Media Blueprint Growth Kit or something like that. And if you click the little link in the description of the video, you can check that out. And it's literally going to walk you through the exact steps through like a PowerPoint presentation. It might be like 30, 40 slides, and to show you exactly what you need to do to optimize your social media presence, to come off as an expert in your field and have customers attracting to you, lead come to you rather than you kind of chasing them. But yeah, so regardless of social media foundations, you guys can check that out down in the description. So I'm not gonna talk about that. What we're gonna talk about with paid ads is what you gotta do after you have those social media foundations set up. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do, now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you understand your offer that converts. So now there's kind of 2 ways really of figuring out this offer that converts. You know, this is the first step, by the way. First step, now there's a primary, apex, alpha. You need to know, you need to make sure you got your offer down straight, okay? So I'm talking about how do you craft this magnificent offer? How does this done? Let me explain that. Let me explain it to you, break it down. Now, this comes down to really just testing SHIT. Now, you can test in 2 ways. You can do organically for free, or if you're anything like me, you just want to figure it out, get results like that real quick. You know, I would run a simple traffic or reach campaign to test those offers. You know, the reason why I would use a traffic campaign or a reach campaign is because those type of campaigns are the ones, I mean, that are the cheapest. And between the two, the reach and the traffic campaign, there's not too much of a price fluctuation, but they're going to be the best bang for the buck to really reach the most amount of people and figure out what offer is kind of converting better, okay? And so then after that, once you have figured out your offer, well, make sure we can break it down a little bit further. The way I personally test it, okay, let's say I was doing ads. The way I would personally test it is I would put up, let's say, like 3 reach campaigns. I'm putting my phone down because my hand is getting tired of holding it straight. I really should have got like a stand. But the way to really test these campaigns is, let's say you're going to put out 3 campaigns out here, 3 reach campaigns, okay? You're going to have 3. And typically, offers are something simple. You're like, all right, they save you money. You save you money, they make you money, or they save you time is typically what something more or less around those lines. So they save you money, they make you money, or they save you time. So let's say you have offer A, B, and C. Now offer A, B, and C, I would try to keep everything as simple as possible, as similar as possible, as in like the actual pictures. But the only thing that's different is gonna be the actual offer. And realistically, the main things that you're going to be changing when you're testing and split testing these things out is either the first line of the description or the headline of the post, or you're going to be changing out some of the words on the picture. But you got to make sure when you're putting a picture up, Facebook doesn't really like it when you use a lot of words on the picture. So you got to make sure it's very straightforward, very minimum amount of words on that picture to describe what the offer you're trying to present to the people. So the way I would test it out, once again, to kind of go back, is the way I would test it out is I'll put out 3 offers, right? Save you money, or make you money, or save you time. Let's say it's offer A, B, C, just to make it simple, okay? And I would test that. I would test to see which one is kind of converting better. All right, let's say offer A is converting at a 1% click-through, or it's getting click-through at a 1% like CTR. I always look at like CTR all. It has like parentheses, it says all on it. All right, click-through rate on all of them. Let's say 1 is 1%, 2 has like a 6%, but 3 has like a 0.5%. Well, obviously, 2 is kind of converting a little bit better. So what I would just do then is, once I kind of understand that this one's kind of converting better, I would test it at least 1 or 2 more times. And the way I would test it is I would take offer number 2 and I would split that up into 2 more offers. So let's say this one was like, it makes you money, okay? Cool. What I would do is I split that up into a little bit more specific. So if I'm bringing it up to like, about Funnel Hacker Labs, my software company, okay? Funnel Hacker Labs, we get your funnel done. Your click funnels and go high level done today, not tomorrow, today. And we do that in 3 main different ways. We have a funnel library, funnel cloner tool, and we design demand. So what I would do is say we make you money is the offer that's converting. What I would then do is I would be like, all right, the first standard one is like kind of the control. Okay, and we're gonna keep that ad running. We're gonna duplicate that twice and create 2 spin-offs of that ad. So we make you money. All right, maybe the 2 duplicates we make you money by utilization of the funnel library. Okay, we get your funnel up there and running and blah blah blah. You know, another one could be like the design on demand. All right, we make you money by getting your funnel up and running, a fully custom designed funnel. All right, through our staff in 24 hours. Boom, done. All right, your click funnels go off, done. All right, so I'm gonna throw out 2 different offers that are similar to the main control one. All right, pretty much what I'm doing is I'm taking that control and I'm pretty much split testing that. I'm creating 2 kind of like lookalikes of the ad, whereas I'm only changing maybe a couple words in the actual picture, really not changing around colors, right? Because we're not really split testing the pictures, or I might change split testing the offer, or I might change maybe the first line of the headline of the ad copy. Okay, I'm not talking about on the ad where it says like learn more, that button right there. I'm talking to the very top of the ad, you know, the top part of the ad. If it's on Instagram, it's going to be on the bottom. If it's on Facebook, it's going to be on the top. That first line right there is typically what people really, you know, the way people read is that they first check out the picture, which gets them to read the actual copy. The copy actually convinces them to click on the ad. You know, kind of how it works. So what I'm trying to say is that I would change around something very small, minuscule on the picture, and I'll change around something very small, minuscule on the actual copy, and mostly the first sentence. And then what I would do is I take those 3 ads and I run those ads up. And me personally, to just figure out that offer, to just be straight honest with you, I probably put up $100 a day on each one just to test out that initial offer, really figure out what works, okay? And then after running that for maybe a day, 2, maybe even 3 days, you know, I would understand really which offer converts at a highest rate. Cool. Now what I'm doing is I'm moving on to conversion campaigns, okay? So if you look on Facebook, it's a middle column, I'm pretty sure, or it's the last column, whatever it is. But I'm moving on to conversion campaigns. And the way I'm going to structure this out is I'm going to put out two types of conversion campaigns. The first type of conversion campaign is going to be a cold audience campaign, right? That's what we can call it. Second one is going to be a retargeting campaign. The reason why I do two campaigns is mainly just for organizational sake and to keep your sanity, okay? Because you're going to realize when you start spending a lot of money and you start putting a lot of ads out there, you're going to get really confused really quick. So I always try to make sure that I keep my retargeting campaign separate than my actual regular kind of just conversion campaign. And the retargeting campaign is kind of self-explanatory. It's kind of simple. All you're going to be doing is a website visitors retargeting, and you can be testing, you can be putting that offer out, maybe even put the same offer, maybe which is a different graphic, okay? The offer that's already converting, and which is a different graphic. Okay, and I'll go into retargeting in a second. Let me talk about real quick the other one. All right, so there's 3 tiers: the reach one, the retargeting. But now we're gonna talk about the middle one. Okay, the middle one, typically what I do is I do one of two things. Well, my go-to is a lookalike audience, to be honest. Okay, my go-to be a lookalike audience. So what you can do is you can export like a .csv file, okay, which is kind of like an Excel sheet of all of your past clients. Take those clients, let's say you got 1,000 of those clients, whatever it is, put in a CSV file, get at least their email and the phone number, right? Honestly, you don't really need their name. You really just need their email, to be honest. Take that, you import into Facebook. Then what you do is you create something called a lookalike audience. Pretty much what that does is it takes all the similar comparisons between those thousands of people, it takes them all, and let's say on average, most of them are talking about like hashtag marketing or something like that they use in their post. It's to understand that out of those 1,000 people, on average, most of them are using the hashtag marketing, or on average, most of those people are looking at this special page or this specific Facebook group, you know? And it's to gather all those similarities, and specifically you're gonna send out ads to other people that share those common similarities. That's how a lookalike audience works. And what you can do is you can do a 1 to even 6 or 7%. But what I would recommend is a lookalike audience of a 1% or a 2%, okay? What I do is I would do a 1 to 2% is what I would do. It's kind of between both, all right? I wouldn't really go further than a lookalike audience of 3%, because if you do further than a lookalike audience of 3%, it kind of just, you kind of lose quality, to be honest. So I'd recommend a lookalike audience of 1 or 2% of your past customers, okay? Or it doesn't mean it had to be your past customers. Your past customers audience would have a very a higher quality. Whereas if it's just like somebody opting in for some free shit and you have that CSV file, I mean that works, but the quality is going to go down a little bit lower. You know, I would recommend using, especially if you have a couple more customers, is using specific customers. But the thing is, if you're running that, if you don't have a lot of customers, if you have like 2 or 3 customers, it's not really going to get too many similarities. It's not going to really be able to process and optimize the way you want it to. So then in that case, then you might want to, if you have a lead form or something like that, where you got a bunch of leads but not converting, or you got a massive email list, maybe make a massive lookalike audience based upon that email list, okay? But once again, then if you do the email list, I might just start out with a 1%, don't do the 1 to 2%. But let me continue. So tier 2, pretty much, you're gonna be running that conversion campaign to a lookalike audience, okay? And I mean, yeah, you could really, honestly, you could test it, because for example, my software company, that tier 2, what we have is for Funnel Hacker Labs, we have ads going out to a lookalike audience, and I also have another ad set, which is campaign ad sets, and then the actual ads. The ad says where the targeting comes into place. We can do the lookalike audience. So that one campaign, the conversion campaign, I branch out to a lookalike audience of 1 to 2%, and I also do an automatic detailed targeting expansion. So pretty much it's a button that you can click, allows us to kind of target a little bit more than what you specifically target. And I would usually do some sort of keyword that I know would work. So for example, my software works with ClickFunnels and Go High Level. The owner of ClickFunnels is Russell Brunson. So what I'm able to do is specifically target people that have liked Russell Brunson's page. You know, you're able to put that keyword of Russell Brunson in the targeting, and then click the little button for detailed targeting expansion, so you can kind of move out a little bit more when it finds that it could do that, when it finds that conversions say that we're able to do it. And then what I would do, and then what I would do is, so we got the tier right there, all right? So tier 2 is that lookalike audience / maybe I want to use a keyword, but I would start off with lookalike audience, really, okay? And then you can be doing the same exact thing. That offer that you found that works and that reach audience right there, I would take that offer and I would spin it and I would put it right onto there, okay? I'll probably use the same exact thing, all right? Finally, what you're going to want to do is that retargeting ad, like I said, you're going to want to be able to either use that same offer, or I would change it up, okay? Because typically what happens, what we find with retargeting is that there's a certain reason why people don't want to sign up. There's always some sort of reason. Maybe they don't have enough information. Maybe they don't understand it, which is kind of what I just said. Maybe they need to schedule a call and be convinced. Maybe that the price is too expensive. Maybe they need $1 trial. Who knows what the F it is? So what I would recommend for that retargeting ad, now this is where you get a little fancy, okay? So the retargeting ad, you're gonna have an ad set to retargeting. You're gonna have a couple of ads, okay? Couple of ads being as in you're just testing out what makes them convert. So what I would do, for example, my software company, we have a couple of different pages on my software company. One page is like a demo page where it's $1 trial, you get 2 weeks for free. Okay, 2 weeks for $1. Another one could be an FAQ page. We have that. Another one, we have like a schedule a demo, whereas they schedule a call with us and we walk them through it. Another page we can have is a full-blown a boot camp, a webinar boot camp is what we have. So we have these 5 different websites pretty much, 5 different little funnels. And with that retargeting ad, what I would recommend is taking those retargeting ads and sending them out to different funnels. One could be an FAQ page, one could be a company vision, one could be a demo page, one could be a bootcamp page, one could be a webinar page, blah, blah, blah. Things are limitless, you know? But the main reason why we're just testing out different ways people can like sign up or different ways people can like kind of convert is because everybody is different and everybody's can convert to something different. Well, one thing that might work for somebody might not work for another person. So the reason why I'm saying that is I highly, highly recommend, specifically on retargeting, to have multiple different pages because everybody converts to something different. Some people might need to see more questions. Some people might need to actually talk to somebody. Some people might love webinars. Some people might love to learn about the product before. It's all completely different. And I've seen people convert throughout all of those different pages. You know, some of them might be a little higher, some might be a little bit lower, but I'm still getting conversions, okay? And then realistically, ads come down to just running the numbers. So for me, it's a little bit easier because I run a software company. And what that allows me to do is we charge a monthly fee of around $67 to be in this membership. So it makes it a lot easier for me. So I don't really have to worry about ROAS too much. Because if I'm spending $100 on trying to get somebody to join the membership, whereas my thing is only $67 a month. If they stay on for 2 months, I'm making profits. I'm in gold. I'm good. I'm green, you know? Great. Good to go, you know? Whereas if somebody else is doing e-commerce, it's a little bit different. You know, you got to understand your numbers once again. Whereas you're doing e-commerce, let's say you're doing some sort of drop shipping. You got to run the numbers. All right, how much does it cost to ship? How much does it cost to actually buy the product? What's my margin? What's my profit I'm actually coming up with this? So you got to understand really how much you're willing to spend to get the customer. And that really brings into my last point right there is really understanding your metrics, okay? It really comes down to it because Facebook is amazing, you know? Facebook will optimize a shit ton. It's great. Its algorithm's awesome. And if you have a product that has sold before organically, you're probably going to be able to sell it on Facebook ads or on paid ads, okay? If you have this course that you sold organically and somebody really liked it, damn well believe that you're going to be able to sell it through paid ads. You know, the process might not be that straightforward. We just run an ad to that course for $9.97. No, it's just kind of difficult to get somebody to pay $9.97 straight off an ad. You may have to get them on a call, do a webinar, via cell, whatever. But it comes down to running the ads. I mean, we kind of just finished off with this because I thought this was a really cool like story. So Russell Brunson, I don't know if he's the partner or if he's the official founder of ClickFunnels. I'm pretty sure he's a partner and kind of like bought out ClickFunnels. What I'm trying to say is how Russell Brunson really started out ClickFunnels is he didn't start out with initially ClickFunnels. What he did is he started out with a course. He started with a $997 course. It's like a start your own agency, you know, start your own marketing agency course. And what he would do is he would sell that marketing agency course to people, okay, for $997. And he would barely be profitable through his ads. He would be spending, let's say, $1,200 to get a client, okay? He was spending, I don't know, maybe sometimes he spent $800, maybe spend $1,200, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is he wasn't always profitable on the front end. How he made his hundreds of millions of dollars was in the back end, because every single person that bought that course to be able to develop or learn how to run their own marketing agency will then by ClickFunnels and pay that monthly, not of $97 to like $300 if you want to do a bigger agency, not, you know? So he didn't make his money on the front end. He brought people in on the front end. He made his money in the back end is what really matters. So once again, it just comes down to running your numbers. So if you're, my boy, he has an e-commerce brand, all right? He sells rifle scopes, okay? And he's killing it, killing the game. He has everything optimized so incredibly well that every single time he spends $70, he makes, what was it? Every single time he spends $70, he makes around $700. And I know what you're thinking, Blade, that sounds impossible. It sounds crazy. Well, he does have to take into account some costs like shipping, right? Actually making the product. So maybe he's profiting, I don't know, every time, sometimes he spends $70, maybe he's profiting $400, I don't know, $300, let's say. Even $200 is profiting. Even $100 is profiting, okay? He's profiting at least $50. What's so great about Facebook ads, all you got to do is add zeros. So let's say every single time you spend $10, you sell a product for $20, cool. Put $100 in, you're going to sell $200 worth of product. Put $1,000 in, you're going to sell $2,000 worth of products. I mean, realistically, it's not that simple. But as you start scaling and scaling the right way, kind of through split testing, and throughout a period of time, you're going to understand that it does scale exactly like that, okay? As long as you're using this thing up here, okay? What I'm trying to say, guys, is running the numbers is super important. Having your foundations is super important. And really, honestly, guys, this is why I recommend not having really 2 funnels or 3 funnels or 4 funnels or having multiple different businesses that you're specifically running ads to. You know, I used to run ads to a bunch of different credit repair companies, and even that was so much work to keep track of, to split test different ads. I mean, even though it was kind of like the same offer, it was still a whole lot of work. Whereas if you're the type of guy that thinks you can handle running, I mean, who knows? You might be better than me, all right? In my case, good props. What I'm trying to say is that I was running ads. Let me give you an example for my software company and for this credit repair marketing course I was selling as well. And to be able to optimize each one of those funnels and ads every single day, it took a lot of work. It was a whole lot of work, and I wasn't able. And what I realized is that, and I made a video about this before, whereas prioritizing your time, because you have a limited amount of time in the day. So what I'm trying to say is that prioritize a specific funnel. You know, ace that one, you know. Get it down to the minuscule, like little 1% changes that makes a difference. Get it down there. Do what you do, due diligence. Do all the email cans, SMS, you know. Get a call center if you have to. Do every optimization you have to make it absolutely perfect to the point where every single time you spend $10,000 every single day, you're making at least $100,000, okay? Optimize to the point where you can't optimize any further, then move on to the next funnel. Guys, I hope this video helped, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out, guys.